Creativity is something that we all have. We all have different levels to our creativity. Some feel like they are up here through the stratosphere, and some of us feel like we don't have creativity at all, like down here. But the truth is that we all have our own levels of creativity. But oftentimes we find ourselves trying to figure out, how do I become more creative, or I have lost my creative spark. Well, today we are going to talk about how to cultivate more creativity in your life so that from a business standpoint, you are able to be more creative and have more strategic thinking when it comes to building your business, but also so you can have more creativity in your personal life. Welcome back to my channel, where I'm always teaching you how to build an online business, make more money, and have a balanced life doing so. And so today we are having a conversation all about creativity. All right. So one of the first things I want to do is I actually want to go to Dr. Google, and I want to see, what does Google say about creativity. So let's go ahead and type in the word creativity. And let's see, what does Dr. Google have to say about creativity? All right, so we're pulling it up, putting it up. I think because I'm recording that it's going slow, but let's just see what it says. So dictionary says the use of the imagination or original ideas, especially in the productivity of an artistic work. But also it said, this is what AI said, this is Bard for Google. It says creativity is the ability to generate new ideas or behaviors that are original. It can be defined as the ability to think about a problem or task in a new way. Creative people often have these traits: originality, imagination, expressiveness. I am very expressive. That's so funny. Creativity can help people solve complex problems or find new ways to approach tasks. It can also involve perceiving the world in new ways, finding hidden patterns, making connections between seemingly unrelated things, generating solutions, and creating something new. So I like that. I like the first definition, where creativity is the ability to generate new ideas and behaviors. It can be defined as the ability to think about a problem, task, or in a new way of thinking. So specifically, when we are talking about creativity today, I'm talking about having a more creative thought process in your life and in your business, and how you can go about doing so. So one of the first things that I think about when you need to establish more creativity is that, first of all, you got to minimize your stress level. Okay? Because when I think about creativity, I don't think about a person being creative when their mind is like so bogged down with so much, right? Like, I know me personally, when I have so much to do and I'm so overwhelmed with life, business, or whatever, my ability to be creative is non-existent, because it's bogged down with too much stuff. Like, when I think about the ability to be creative, it is because you're in this space and you don't have a lot of things to think about. Like, the picture that comes to my head is someone at a park in grass, laying down flat, and they're just looking up at the sky, and they're just able to be creative. Or I think about a person who is out on a balcony with an easel and it's a blank canvas, and they are just in nature. They can hear nature, and they're just like clear as day. And now they can start thinking about the picture that it is that they want to paint. Or I think about a stylist, and that person is like, they're like not thinking about anything but helping this person craft all these different clothing. And so they've gone into a person's closet, they pulled everything out, and they've like started putting things on a bed to come up with some creative ideas for this person's wardrobe. And so that's what it is when I first think about creativity. And so in order to have the space in your brain and your creativity to begin to flow, you've got to first minimize some stress. So one of the things that I like to do is, if I'm going to try to be creative, what I have to do is I have to do a brain dump. Everything that I'm thinking, feeling, or like that has all of my brain space, I have to get it out, okay? But also, one of the things that I have to do is, if I have a bunch of things that I have to get done, I go ahead and do them. Because I am like, I am not going to be able to think straight, be creative with all of that in my brain. Yes, I have done the brain dump, but some of those things, I've just got to get them off of my list so that I have the mental space for that. Okay. So first of all, I would encourage you to do a brain dump, get those things out of your mind. And then second, do as much of the things that you can do on that list. So that way you're like, okay, I've gotten the most important things done. Now I can think. But then the next thing you need to do is you have to go, okay, where am I most creative? What space do I need to be in to be creative? Or if you can be creative at home, okay, what is the environment that I need to be in to be creative? Is yours having music playing? Is yours, like for me, if I kind of want to chill out, I will play like some low type of R&B type of music that just kind of chills me out. If I want to be creative and I want to be thinking, then it's probably like some pop music. I probably allow myself to like be expressive and just kind of moving or whatever. But honestly, the time I feel like I am most creative is probably when I am driving in a car. There's nobody in the car with me. I don't have anywhere to go. There's no music playing, and it's just me and the road, right? It's just me and the road. My windows are down, the air is blowing, and I am just, that is it. Because if that's it, it's just me and the road. And I get to just kind of be in my head. I can see because I'm driving, and I can just be in my head. Does that make sense? Or if I'm in the shower, I'm, doing what I'm doing to get in the shower, and it's like, it's just me and the shower. Or it is me on the treadmill. Because when you're on the treadmill, you got to pay attention. Because if you don't, you're falling off that thing, right? But if I want to get in these creative spaces, it's like, it's just me and a thing, and that's it. I don't need to be in a space with someone. I don't want anybody talking. I just need nothing, right? Me and the one thing or whatever. And I am focused on coming up with ideas. Now, another thing that I will do is I will go and if I'm on social media, I will go and look at other people, what they're doing, and look at creative things that other people are doing or inventions or things like that. It's not like watching a movie, but like, it's like it could be watching a documentary of someone who is like highly creative, and you're just watching a person's process and their creativity. Or you could be listening to a podcast of someone who is just the way that their mind thinks and their creativity, right? That's not my main, but it's like if I want to hear what other people are thinking in their creative process, it could be watching a documentary or listening to an audiobook or listening to a podcast of someone, and you're listening to how their brain thinks. Because when someone's brain is thinking and you're listening to how their brain is thinking, what I have experienced is that my brain starts to turn on in a way that it had not turned on before had I not was listening to that particular creative person. And, I don't know about you, but my brain doesn't work like everybody else's. My brain works like the way my brain works. And so when you're able to have the mind of a creative person, just listening to how it moves and all that type of stuff, it's just something happens. So like, I'm always teaching people how to like build marketing funnels and things of that nature. And when I started listening to a book on someone teaching about how they build funnels and how they think about lead generation, what did that do? That like my brain is over here and theirs operates over here. That completely turned my brain in a whole different direction. And it caused me to start thinking about, oh, I could be doing this. It's just all the creativity just started coming. That's like, we have a holiday deal that is out right now that we are offering where you get access to a bunch of templates and you get 30 days inside of our private community for only $15. And the thing about it was that, how did I come up with that idea? I got around creative person, but I also started seeing how are other people marketing their communities similar to what I have, but it may just be completely, because sometimes it's completely different or whatever, but there's some similarities to it. And I was just like, that is a really creative way to market that product or service. Like, listen, the service was already the price that it was, but it was a creative way to actually market it. And I said, that's awesome. We're going to take aspects of that and we're going to market our product similar, right? Different products, but the creativity behind how they're marketing was brilliant. And so for me, sometimes it's looking at brilliant people. Looking at how brilliant people are doing what they're doing, because if it's working for them, then I'm like, why would I not take a page out of their book when it's a really, really creative and brilliant strategy, okay? Because here's the truth. You don't need to be a creative genius in order to be creative. We all have levels of creativity in us. We just have to allow ourselves to get into certain spaces that is going to give us the creativity that we need, right? That's going to give us the spark that we need. It's going to give us the space that we need, or it's going to give us one idea that can actually lead to 100 other different ideas. Okay. So that is all for today's episode. I wanted to just spark your creativity with building your business or having the life of your dreams or what have you. And so if you found this valuable, be sure to hit a like on this video. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I get all the notifications myself, and I'll be sure to reach out. Okay, so be sure to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.